everybody, this is Daniel Garza, and welcome to another episode of Put It Together Live. I'm coming to you from, what theater is it?
Ezekiel!
So what's the name of the theater here?
Oh, Madeline Clark's.
Madeline Clark's, yes. So we're here with the Ezekiel Theater Company. We're about to introduce them. Hold on, guys. Hi, guys.
Hi!
How's everybody doing?
Good! How are you?
So I got a chance to watch the rehearsals just now. You guys didn't get that. Very dramatic. It sounds really good. But before we get into like everybody else, we have the writer and director of the play. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Sue Chen. I wrote and directed this play, and we're opening next week, next Friday,
Cool.
at the Secret Rose Theater in North Hollywood. And I'm so excited because these cast is brilliant. They're awesome, and you're going to have so much fun watching these guys.
So tell us the name of the play and a little bit about what's it about.
So the name of the play is Formula 3, and we actually performed this in Korean language 3 years ago, and it was a big hit. And like our name was really popular because of this anthology. So I decided to do a full show in English, and I casted just beautiful people, and then we're here in Formula 3. I'll let them kind of talk about them.
Before we go here, one of the things that really caught my attention when we talked on the phone in the pre was that I knew Korean language existed. Obviously. I know, yeah. It's like, oh, there's this other language other than Spanish and English. But you had formed a whole theater production here in LA.
Yeah.
How long was that?
We established 2013, so it's about 5 years now.
Okay.
And it was pretty small in the beginning, and we just got a lot of followers after show after show. So we did like 2 big musicals and 1 anthology, and then 4 other shows. So this is really our 8th project.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what really motivated you to want to translate it to English? And were you pretty sure that it would have the same impact?
That's a big risk because I really don't know. When we did our first musical in full English version, we actually opened it in the big theater in Downey Theater, and it was a 1,000 seater theater, so it was a big risk for us. Luckily, we had a lot of audience at that time. But this one, we're performing in a small theater, and it's kind of in North Hollywood. It's not a very Korean place.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know. I'm like a little bit. I'm worried, but at the same time, I'm more hopeful. Yeah. So we just have to watch and see.
Now, I know from English to Spanish, sometimes you translate the meaning or the power of the words.
Yeah.
It doesn't always translate. Did you have any trouble in the translation?
So the way like these guys portraying each character is quite different. So when I saw them acting out those characters, I saw like, wow, this is a whole different play right now. Okay. So I kind of ran the improv with these guys, and then kind of let them speak whatever they want to like insert and ad-lib. And then we add that actually in the script. So some of those lines they actually like came up with.
So there's like 6 co-writers.
Right, exactly. There were 6 co-writers.
Make sure you get the credit and
that. Yeah. So yeah, I think the dynamic is quite different, but it's so much better. I think in the original it was shorter, and then this one I added more lines and more characters to it. So it explains more about the Formula 3. So I think audience will understand a lot better this time.
And before I move on, one thing that I noticed, you have a handwritten script. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
That's pretty interesting. I've never seen a director with a handwritten script. I think that's really unique. Is there a purpose to that, or?
Well, sometimes it typing it you just zap through it really quick, but when you're writing, it makes you think more.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's pretty unique. I find it really cool. I'm gonna do that because I'm working on some scripts, and I'm like, why did she do that? And I'm gonna.
Yeah, but none of us can actually read her writing.
That's right. And we've actually got
because
some comments
on those
a little later. For those of you watching, we are with the Ezekiel
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel Theater Company for Formula 3. You can't see me, but I'm over here, Daniel. So we're going to go down the line. Most of us are imports from somewhere else in California. So if you're from somewhere else, your name, the name of your character, and where you're from.
Okay. Hi, my name is Bree Wernicke. I'm from Pasadena, actually, but I play the clerk in Formula 3.
Pasadena, California?
Yeah, California.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's a Pasadena, Texas.
Yeah, nobody goes there, though.
Okay. Because I'm from Pasadena, Texas. I'm from Texas.
Oh, okay.
And I live in
thought you were
Houston.
going to say you were from that other
Well,
Pasadena.
yeah,
I was like,
no.
oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. They have good tacos in Pasadena, Texas. Just go out there. And so,
Hi, I'm Kelly Cross, and I play the director, and I'm from Connecticut,
okay.
East Coast.
I'm Jill Galbraith. I play the pharmacologist, and I'm from Northern California, outside the Bay Area.
Oh, cool.
Hey, I'm Peter Donovan. I play Mr. Proud, and I'm from Rhode Island.
Oh, wow. Great.
Hi, I'm Johanna Sol, and I play Mrs. Rich, and I am from Bogota, Colombia.
Are you really? Awesome.
Yeah.
And
I'm Cameron Weir. I play Mr. Rigid. I'm originally from California, grew up in Ohio, and now live in California as an adult.
and y'all might recognize Cameron because he was on whatever podcast before with the
We're still kicking LA,
Still Kicking LA.
which is the improv outreach group for nursing home residents.
Yes. So if you don't remember that, I will post it. So Cameron's been on my show now twice. So thank you. This is actually how I got connected. For anybody who wants to jump in, tell us a little bit more about the play, the feeling behind it, drama, comedy, suspense. What's it about?
Kind of a comedy. I think it's a little bit of like a post-apocalyptic tale. The director here is playing the head of an agency, and he's coming in and getting harassed by all of us with our complaints about this Formula 3, how it's spreading through society, and it kind of just unravels from there in a very comedic way as we start to interact with each other.
How has the vibe between the actors, has it worked out? Are you guys
yeah.
comfortable? I mean, we always say, yeah, because everybody always says, it's like a family. And sometimes you're working with somebody, you're like, yeah, you're like the stepbrother we never wanted. Did y'all vibe pretty quick? And this is a two-part question. Did you vibe pretty quick? And did the improv element help you fall into your characters a lot faster? Whoever wants to take it.
I think we did connect pretty easy. It was very easy from the get-go. And the improv actually helped us put our own take into each character.
Right.
So Sue had, a pretty well rounded description from the character, but when she said just, ad lib and do whatever you want, then that's when we kind of like, these characters became part of us, and you can see some of us in the character.
What I've appreciated is this play requires a heightened level of emotion from its actors. It requires people to go pretty much nuts in a lot of the scenes, and I think right from the start we weren't afraid of just letting loose and
Stylizing
showing all of
it.
ourselves
Yeah.
with each other, and that was really beautiful to look at people so willing to
Scream.
work.
And,
Yeah.
Really go
Screaming,
for it.
there's a lot.
yeah, there's a lot of screaming.
Um,
But in a good way. In a good way.
now,
It's funny screaming.
from the rehearsal that I saw, especially your character, when I first sat down, it was kind of like this blonde, tipsy personality, and then all of a sudden you got very serious. What has helped you make those transitions so quickly?
That's a good question. I think not being afraid to go from one extreme to the next, because it gets easier to make a transition the more different those states are. So you can go from the height of the sort of stuttering nervousness to like the deep in charge. I don't want to spoil
Yeah,
it
no
too
spoilers.
much.
Yeah.
The in charge confident girl, like really quickly. You just gotta turn it
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Was, and I'm going to keep going back because I think it's a really cool point that you get the chance to improv in the first parts, and that builds up your character, but it's easier to fall into it because you can find the nice niches of your character. Did that help you go to those extremes?
Oh, absolutely. Because at first it was like not so extreme, and then Sue was like more. So it went from this to like this. So that really helped with the improv.
Now your character, from what I saw, is going through some emotional turmoil.
Yeah, he's at a crossroads in his life. He has a very tortured past. He has a life of regret and miscalculations, and this is the crossroads where he needs to either move forward to salvation or ruin himself in despair. So it's a very important. It's the most important day in this character's life. Yeah.
Is there a crossroad in your life that you?
Yeah, you know, I think we'll all go through these dips in our lives, you know, and how we navigate out of those dips is defines who we are, I think. So, yeah, it's been a road of self-discovery for sure, and it's been enlightening, and it's a chance to laugh at yourself in some cases, and also to reflect and maybe make better choices moving forward. So it's been
Interesting.
very exciting.
So now your character, and again, I'm horrible with names in a quick moment, but your character,
Pharmacologist.
it's pharmacologist. It's very stoic personality. Is that you or no?
Who knows?
That would be a no. That
I think what Sue wanted in the pharmacologist is kind of a balance and a reset from what happens in the previous moments in the play. And it's challenging because for this character, I still have that madness in me, but it's kind of absorbed into a calm, if that makes sense. And I've really been working on just having all of those things just below the surface.
Because I was really impressed with your looks and your tone of voice.
Great.
Yeah, it's
Thank you.
very, like I didn't, not knowing the first part of the play, because this is the latter part of the play, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
You saw the second.
So I didn't get to see everything. But not knowing what the first part of the play, at that point I was like, is she an alien? Is she a Martian? Is she a robot? Like, what's her deal? So
Who is she?
Yeah, it left me very intrigued because it reminds me a lot of characters on TV that are like those killers, and they're very cold, very methodical. And I don't know if you watched Scandal, but the lady, she died and they chopped her head off. I hope they don't chop her head off.
Spoiler!
Yeah, but in case if you didn't watch Scandal, you weren't. But she had this very calculating Southern accent. It was so warming, but then she would just chop your head off. So, but I was very impressed with your character. So that's pretty cool.
Hey,
Hi.
how's it going?
Good. In the parts that I saw, you didn't talk that much, but well, at least not where I heard. But maybe I was playing with the game. But tell us a little bit from previous works that you've done.
Well, I would say my character is Mr. Proud in the play, and I definitely have taken a lot of today's atmospheric conditions into the character.
That's the part that I was talking about.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
He's,
I was a little.
he's Mr. Proud. It's arrogant. You can, I look a certain way. This is without spoiling anything. But yeah, I've taken a lot of influence from what's going on in today's world, even with political, with the Me Too movement, with the Harvey Weinstein fallout, all that kind of stuff. I mean, this guy that I play is kind of in the ranks with them. So it has been a challenge as an actor to relate to those people because we so actively want to push those people away. I would say that's been one of my hardest things.
I almost felt like I was at a GOP conference, but that's just me. I was about to run. But even then, let's just between us.
Yeah.
We're dudes. Sometimes it's not hard to tap into that and go, I could be a dick.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, you do see those guys out there. I mean, there are definitely a lot of guys who are dicks, But I just feel like you can see that in society. So it's one thing that I've kind of shed more light on, I guess, in discovering who the character is and what he does in his pastimes, what his beliefs may be. Because there are people out there like that.
But let's be honest,
Yeah.
it is kind of fun to play those characters.
To be honest, not for
No?
me. Not really. I'm not that type of
Wow.
guy. I'm not that type of guy. I don't I can get into it.
Considering what happens to you.
Yeah, considering what happens to me. No, but seriously, like I don't find enjoyment, I guess, I wouldn't find enjoyment in that in my real life. So, but you do as an actor.
Yes,
you
yes.
do find the enjoyment
As
in
an
the
actor,
characters.
yeah.
So, it's a bit of an odd role.
I've played a couple of chauvinistic macho
Sure.
Mexican man.
Yeah.
And it is fun. It is so fun to tell a woman, get in there and clean. So,
See,
I'm really not.
I'm different. I like being the hero.
Yeah, you're the hero. That's what you do.
But it's a change up.
So, coming from
Johanna,
Colombia,
sí,
Colombia, bienvenida. Yo soy de México, de Monterrey. How long have you been in the country, from ask?
2001.
2001.
This is like, my second home. This is home now.
Some? Yeah, well, I think once you're in LA past 6 months,
Yep.
and you've traveled the 405 and the 101.
Yeah.
So you're coming into a play that was in Korean, translated to English, which is your second language.
Yes.
How does that feel?
Well, that's when I was saying when she allowed us to ad lib. I definitely brought in all that Latin spice into the character. So my character is Mrs. Rich, who is very self-absorbed and money-hungry, and so it has a lot of like telenovela into it. It's very, very dramatic, and so I'm having a blast with it. I'm just like going for it and let it be as dramatic and as telenovela as possible.
Now, there is as a Latino, there is a comfort level when you're allowed to tap into your culture and bring it out in another language, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think the loudness when you're Latino is embedded in you. Whether you don't have to go very far to find it.
Now, coming from a Korean writer, again to English to Latina, I'm trying to figure out how to ask the question, because sometimes when a Latino character is written in another language, they can't find the right words. It's hard to. When you say the words, they don't roll the way they should.
Yeah.
Have you been able to work with?
Well, this role in specific, it's not a Latina per se.
Okay.
It's not any particular nationality. It's more about her being self-absorbed and being over the top. So I guess that by me being a Latina, I've made her like grab some of those Latina qualities, the loudness, the over the top, being like super expressive.
Right.
But you wouldn't say, oh, that's a Latina woman per se.
Okay.
It could be just any, self-absorbed.
And I'm gonna
Big word type person.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a minute. Does that make you comfortable to know that it's a generic character and you can give it whatever flavor you want?
Yes, because that allows me to be to have more fun with it.
Right.
To like go all out and just be like, I'm gonna make it my own, and I'm just gonna go for it and have fun. So I am enjoying every minute of it.
Awesome. I did like your character. I was like, I'm like, that's LA. That's all LA. Cameron.
Hi.
Hi, sir. Good to see you again. And funny enough, if y'all go back into the video, he's always on the edge, just beyond. You're
Still very much heard.
your character, without giving too much away, is very.
It's the voice of reason.
It's very. You're very passionate in the way you deliver your lines. Yet you're a very calm person when I met you.
He's calm?
Wow.
He's.
Maybe
I
it's
saw him
be-
after entertaining seniors.
Yeah, maybe it's because of the environment. How are you enjoying?
It is very enjoyable, and as Jill was kind of talking about, I kind of look at it very much as a wonderful exercise in classical theater. I think that's what Seuss tapped into. There are elements for me. I have a background in comedian and mask work, so I look at these as mask characters just without a mask, as well as I think Jill's character functions Greek theater with the Deus Ex Machina coming down and sort of resetting everything. And so that's one way I look at it. And then it's also still very modern with all these things I think that exist in all of our heads at all times. You know, is it okay to be a dick right now or not? It's, you know, can I do this? Can I do that? And for me personally, I do have a lot of anger issues. And you know, I know that everybody else does, but I've been sober for over a year now. I've been in recovery.
Congratulations.
And being sober sucks. It pisses you off. No, you just have to find the right things. But for me, my own personal journey has been about moving from expectations to just acceptance. No longer expecting everything and just now I expect nothing, I accept everything. And I think for Mr. Rigid, he's filled with expectations, not just for himself, but for everyone around him. And that's just fuel for resentment, because you're only going to be let down consistently.
Are you able to release some of your own personal demons?
Yeah, I hope so. Because otherwise, what else is coming out?
All right, I know we're out of time, so before we go, I want to go down the line, because this is about kind of like the end of, right? It's an ending to the world, or something.
Maybe
not.
Maybe the beginning. Maybe the beginning.
So,
Rebirth.
so I want to ask you, just in like, it's the end of the world. You get to keep one thing. What are you keeping?
My family.
Your family? That's a good answer.
That's a great answer.
One thing you can keep, and you can't say family now, but you get to keep one thing.
A hard drive with everything I've ever written on it?
Could you go? Sure.
Of course, my dog.
Your dog?
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet.
Sweet potatoes.
Yeah, I know it's food, but I was thinking chocolate.
Chocolate.
Enough food to survive
Wait,
for a
Wait,
long
it's the
time.
end of the world.
World, and you get to keep one thing.
But we're not in logic, because it's still what?
It's like a fun question. Like, if you're on a desert island, what do you keep? Like, if it's the end of the world,
all
what
right,
do you?
then it's still tangible. Okay.
You've thought about it now. Now
I
it's
thought
just,
about
yeah.
it too long.
Now the end of the world,
I
and you're gone.
guess
You have nothing at the end of the world. Nothing. So
peace
remind
of mind
everybody.
is all I want.
Let's remind everybody when the show starts, where will you be, show times, where you can buy tickets.
So our show starts next Friday, February 2nd, at 7 o'clock. Formula 3 starts, and then we have another show right after that, back to back. It's a Maroon Doll. It's at 8 o'clock, and so it's 2 one-act plays in one night.
Wow.
Yeah, so we will be playing 8 shows, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Sunday we have one matinee show. So until February 11th.
Okay.
And what's the website to purchase tickets?
Oh, thank you. It will be ezekiel.la, EZEKIEL.LA, and then you can find free tickets.
And be sure to use coupon code CW012.
Wait.
That's
Wait.
coupon code CW012.
It's BW009.
Do you each have your own
Yeah.
code?
Yeah.
Well, they each have their own code, so you can go on the website, which will be listed, so you can buy tickets and use a code. So what's your code?
BW009.
I don't know my code.
But use it. I'll let you know.
Do you know yours?
PD011.
Whoa.
JS013.
The easiest to remember is CW012.
It's always a
So we will list all the codes along with the pictures, so that you guys can choose whom you want to buy tickets
Pick your
from.
favorite cast.
Yeah, and that way you can. So, guys, any last message or any
Come see
invitation?
the show, guys. It's really funny. There's a lot of good moments and really strong acting in this cast.
Oh, yeah.
Come and check it out.
And just before we go down the line again, your names so they remember who you are.
Cameron Weir, CW012.
Johanna Sol, JS013.
Peter Donovan, 011.
Jill Galbraith.
Kelly Cross.
Bree Wernicke.
Sue Chan.
Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you.
It was great to see you. Everybody out there, this has been Put It Together Podcast Live, coming to you with the Ezekiel Theater Company. Remember, look up the information. It'll all be there, along with their codes, so you can buy your tickets from, there we go, sing it to you. But you can buy your tickets from your favorite cast And hopefully I will see you there at the red carpet. See you next time, guys.
Bye.